So I thought what I'd do is show you what it looks like when you actually file a complaint on the FDA website, Center for Tobacco Products website. And you'll see exactly what is reported, how it's done. Not necessarily how it's done, but at least what is done. And so you can have some kind of idea that maybe maybe one of you guys out there want to report somebody for any potential violation or any kind of illegal activity you see, you can always report it to the FDA CTP. And I will provide the link of the online form. You could do it through United States Postal Service. I used to do it certified, but this is much quicker. Or you could, fax it to them if you like. But normally it's done United States Postal Mail or through online form. So I'll put that link underneath the video so you can check it out and see if you maybe you find the gumption enough inside you to do not what's only right, but to correct the situation that we are having. Once again, like I said in the other video, there are plenty of e-liquids, plenty of hardware that have a manufacturer finished product date before August 8th of 2016 that anyone from the smoker coming over to vaping or the dual user or the vapor, newbie, intermediate, even advanced, there are plenty of vapor products on the market with a manufacturer finished product date before August 8, 2016 that we can use and enjoy and have no regret or resentment or whatever the hell comes to mind. Plenty products. So there's no reason to have all these products after August 8, 2016. Anyway, so as you see on the screen, it says Potential Tobacco Product Violations Reporting Form FDA 3779, a form approved OMB, its Office of Management and Budget number 0910-0716. Expiration date July 31st, 2020. Potential violation information date. Potential violation occurred May 22nd, 2019. This is in regards to vaping with Twisted 420. The mutant RDA with Vandy Vape. State potential violation occurred, Texas. Product type, advanced refillable personal vaporizers. Tobacco brand, mutant RDA as a manufacturer finished product date post-August 8, 2016 without a FDA marketing order. Potential violation type, advertising, promotion, marketing, free samples. Type of potentially volatile promotional materials. Direct mail, internet. Description of potential violation. A domestic and a foreign company in the United States and China, which is selling and manufacturing vapor products to the United States, a product which has a manufacturer finished product date post-August 8, 2016 without a FDA marketing order. Vandy Vape, China, manufacturer, Richard M. left blank intentionally for YouTube, T. left blank intentionally for YouTube, Texas, USA, designer, and Vandy Vape service distribution are selling the mutant RDA in the United States without a FDA marketing order. In accordance with Judge Paul W. Grimm's memorandum and order, the Vandy Vape mutant RDA is a perfect example of Mitch Zeller, Center for Tobacco Products Director's coined phrase, Wild Wild West. To move the date out to August 8, 2021, once August 8, 2022, the vaping industry, foreign and domestic, merely took advantage of FDA's enforcement discretion. Thereon, thousands of vapor products flooded the U.S. markets and its territories post-August 8, 2016, and post-August 8, 2018 official federal statute deadline, without FDA marketing orders. relevant files attached, and then pretty much what you saw on the screen that I showed in the Food and Drug Administration complaint 4, even though I took certain areas out of there, I attached that as well. Who potentially violated? Importer, potential violator name, Vandy Vape. Potential violator address, Troy, Michigan. Potential violator website, vandyvapeusa.com. Who potentially violated? Retailer. Potential violator name, The Best Vape. Potential violator address, Boca Raton, Florida. Potential violator website, www.thebestvape.com. Contact information or reports will remain private to the extent allowed by law. What they mean by that is if this so happens to go into a court of law, then I could certainly be either subpoenaed, but I would do it willingly, appear in court and to speak on the behalf of the federal government in regards to the violations by Vandy Vape, Richard M. Dash, and or the Best Vape, and all the complaints that I have filed with the FDA. Contact me for additional information. Yes, FDA may contact me. Name, left blank intentionally for YouTube. Affiliation, left blank intentionally for YouTube. Submitter address, left blank intentionally for YouTube. Phone number, left blank intentionally for YouTube. Email, left blank intentionally for YouTube. Receive an email from FDA about complaint. Key 25584-CTP-78- left blank intentionally for YouTube. Potential tobacco product violations reporting form FDA 3779. Potential tobacco product violations report has successfully been submitted. Thank you for submitting a potential tobacco product violations report. If you indicated that you would like to receive an email from FDA, you should receive an email confirmation within 24 hours after submitting a report. If you would like to contact us for additional information, you may do so at, and then it provides the address and the email. So that's basically what needs to be covered when you do a complaint with the FDA. And like as far as your personal information, you could write down no and remain anonymous. You don't get any correspondence from the FDA if you do so, but you certainly can remain anonymous. I always put down yes, but then it's redacted, of course, for YouTube. But nevertheless, I always say yes, because if need be, when it ever goes to a court of law, I have absolutely no problem appearing as a witness against whatever company that individual that I am reporting about, regardless if you're an importer, exporter, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, distributor, or even, in these particular cases, even designer. Now, designer is sort of a very loose term, but because, like for instance, in this case, vaping with Twisted 420, because it's an illegal activity that they're doing here, they should not have this particular RDA, the Vandy Vape Mutant RDA, in the U.S. markets and its territories with a manufacturer finished product date post August 8, 2016. Being it's an illegal activity, it turns into a criminal as well as a civil offense, because Richard M. Dash left blank intentionally for YouTube aided and abetted Vandy Vape, so Vandy Vape can profit from it monetarily. And I'm sure there's an understanding, be it either in writing or verbally, that if there's enough units that are sold, that Richard M. Dash left blank intentionally for YouTube could very well also gain a profit or monetary gain from it. Now, for instance, a designer can very well get in trouble even if he or she does not get a monetary or make a profit off of it monetarily. But as soon as the person accepts even 1 penny, it gets very, very nasty in a court of law. Now, Vandy Vape will get FDA warning letter at first, or any of these manufacturers or retailers or importers or exporters or distributors or wholesalers. They will get FDA warning letters first, and then if they ignore those FDA warning letters, then the court system kicks into place. As far as Richard M. left blank intentionally for YouTube or vaping with Twisted 420 is concerned, he can very well wind up also being he could get indicted, but normally what will happen is they could certainly come out after him and penalize him monetarily. Would he be, doing a jail time, or there is a potential there, but it's much more on the lower rung. Whereas civilly, he could certainly get fines for having conducted himself in an illegal activity. That's where these federal statutes are falling at, as far as the criminal federal statutes in regards to aiding and abetting an illegal activity. And that's why I always put that into the complaints, because that has a lot to do with this quote-unquote designer or creator or whatever you want to call them. They think that they're off the hook, but they're not. And they're especially not when they accept even 1 penny of a profit from whatever whatever product it may be that is a part of that illegal activity. So when Mike vapes all these characters, Jay Hayes, everyone, when they think in terms of, now with Jay Hayes, I reported him to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, but I've yet to do a Food and Drug Administration complaint on him. But if he does put out a product, then I definitely will be reporting him to the Food and Drug Administration, or any of these guys and these quote unquote YouTube celebrities, let alone offline or online that has nothing to do with YouTube. They don't understand that even if they're quote unquote designers, they think to themselves, well, I'm off the hook because I'm not the manufacturer. But they don't realize that they're accepting a monetary gain from it. You understand? Maybe you don't. I don't know. You have to go and read the federal statutes, the criminal federal statutes, to understand aiding and abetting a company in the process of when you're committing an illegal activity. Now, all these products that have a manufacturer finished product date after August 8, 2016, or illegal products that ought not be on the U.S. markets and its territories. It's that simple. That's very black and white. And so therefore, any kind of activity that is going on with any of these products after August 8, 2016, especially from manufacturers and distributors and retailers, they can get into a whole heck of a lot of trouble, especially even the importers. But the designers are not off the hook. And the way I word my complaints to the FDA or the Center for Tobacco Products, because Mitch Zeller is the director of the CTP, he's an attorney at law. When he reads my complaints or anybody's complaints, you need to frame it so it's legal speak, so to speak, or you're speaking legally to the person that's reading it. Now, initially, this will go through a it's not necessarily secretaries, but there are more like agents within the Center for Tobacco Products that will initially read these particular complaints. And then they will be put into a log and give it a number. And then after that, then when your number comes up, so to speak, then it goes past that agent and can very well go to the inspectors and or even the director of the Center for Tobacco Products. Depends upon how alarming or how illegal the activity is. Like, for instance, if I could show on video that vaping with twisted 420, I'm not saying at all that he did this, okay? Don't get that in your head. Don't spread a stupid rumor or gossip. But this is a perfect example. Where I can get Mitch Zeller actually interested in directly reading it, and that is, if I can get, I mean, if I could, if I had a video of vaping with a twisted 420, selling his mutant RDA to someone under the age of 18, and showing that person under the age of 18 how to use his RDA, and actually have the person under the age of 18 vape on his RDA, yes, absolutely. That would rise to the level of actually Mitch Zeller reading that complaint. And Richard M. Dash left blank intentionally for YouTube, or twisted with a twisted 420, could very well land his ass in jail, let alone have monetary fines out of his wazoo. Extreme example. I'm not saying he would do it. I'm sure he would never do that. But I'm just saying that it could be him, or it could be anyone. It could be a he or her. Doesn't matter. These are the type of activity that can seriously get a person or a company or whatever else have you in serious trouble. Normally what they do is just do FDA warning letters, and then if these FDA warning letters are not complied with, then the FDA will take whatever company or whatever have you, individual, whatever, to a court of law. And then it's a question of no sales tobacco order, meaning they will literally remove these products from the market. If they're imported into the USA, they will all be banned. And then there's fines that are involved in as well. And if it's repeatedly over a period of time, within a certain amount of time, usually it's anywhere from 2 to 3 years, if it's repeated over and over and over again with the same company, then it can go upwards of $10 million fine. But by that time, that company is pretty much out of business. Now, some of these huge companies over there, like Innikin, not necessarily Vandy Vape, but like Innikin, or even Evolve, for that matter, USA, or possibly even 5 Palms. If it went to that $10 million fine mark, if it ever got to that point of being a $10 million fine, these companies probably can afford that fine and still remain in business. Same with Juul, especially. Juul could get fined out of the wazoo, and they probably still remain in business. But there's a lot of companies like Vandy Vape or whatever have you. They can very well just go completely go out of business simply because of the $10 million fine. But that's after repeated violations over a certain amount of time when that kicks into place. Normally the fines are in the tens of thousands. That's usually how it goes. And it doesn't start that high. It starts low, and then it depends on how many infractions that company has or individual has, and then eventually gets into the tens of thousands of dollars. Anyway, but I just wanted to share with you this so you can get an idea of that maybe yourself you would like to submit a complaint to the FDA and let them read it, and they will log it in, and then they'll investigate it, and hopefully shut down the illegal activity that is going on. So anyway, I just want to share this with you. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.